Hello, welcome to my channel WWE Pulse.
Hey, what's up? I'm here for the channel, as I mentioned in my last few videos. I am covering the history of WWE over on another channel, and in doing so, have been watching tons and tons of old wrestling. One thing that has really stood out to me as I've been watching these old house show and TV matches is just how much Japanese strong style influenced a lot of what we saw during this era of wrestling. If you aren't familiar with Japanese strong style, it is a wrestling style that emphasizes more realistic, hard-hitting strikes such as punches, kicks, and knee strikes presented as if they are real and dangerous. It's not to be confused with shoot fighting, which is a whole other thing. It was pioneered by fighters like Riki Choshu in the 70s and 80s. The most famous practitioners of this style are probably Shinsuke Nakamura and his former tag partner, the legendary Tagamask. But some others who use it include Mitsuharu Misawa, Toshiaki Kawada, Kenta Kobashi, Junakiyama, Yuji Nagata, and many more. In fact, many wrestlers from Japan employ at least some aspects of this style. But unlike shoot fighting, strong style still retains that entertainment aspect of pro wrestling. Anyway, strong style made its way into WWE, primarily in the mid-2000s, thanks to Shinsuke. And while Nakamura would leave WWE after only 2 years, he definitely left his mark on the company and helped usher in a new style that had never really been seen before. I think it's best to start with Nakamura's arrival in WWE. He came in as an arrogant heel who claimed to be the greatest wrestler in the world. To make this claim believable, WWE gave him an aura of invincibility, having him win all of his televised until WrestleMania 24. His opponents were clearly frustrated by how powerful he was, selling like they were genuinely hurt by his offense. And I think that was key. Now, you may be thinking, okay, yeah, we got a wrestler sell. It's called active. Well, yes, that is true. The difference between just selling and selling something as real is important. You see, when Nakamura hit his signature knee to the face or shoulder tackle, you believed that he legitimately hurt people. This wasn't a playful slap or an exaggerated clothesline. This was a violent, vicious attack meant to injure his opponent, even his finisher. The Kinshasa was sold by his opponents as if they were legitimately knocked out every time he hit it. This isn't exactly something you see every day. And honestly, I think that's one of the reasons Nakamura's character was so compelling. He didn't just beat people. I met him, and since you believed that his offense was real, you cared about whether or not his opponents could actually beat him. But Nakamura wasn't the only person who utilized this style. Also arriving in 2006 was his manager, the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka. Similar to she was portrayed as nearly invincible, winning her first televised match in WWE at the 2007 Royal Rumble, where she entered at no. Won and lasted over 25 minutes, eliminating 7 wrestlers before finally losing to the returning Mickie James. At the time, this was the longest Rumble performance by any woman ever. No, there was a bit of a language barrier, so while Asuka could speak some English, she mostly cut promos in Japanese with subtitles. This added to her mystique and made her seem even more foreign and exotic than she already did. She was also accompanied by her manager, General Manager Theodore Long, who served a similar role to how Tiger Mask's manager, Mr. Mitsunari, accompanied him around the world. Unlike Nakamura, though, Asuka's manager wasn't to help her, but instead to get her into matches with whoever the WWE wanted her to face. Long would basically just tell her who to attack, and she would do so without hesitation. She would go on to feud with the likes of Maria, Candice Michelle, Kelly, Tori Wilson, Melina, and many others, destroying each and every one of them in dominant fashion. She was especially dominant in mixed tag team matches, often showing little to no respect for her male counterparts. The only man who could save his female partner from her wrath was the great Kali, who surprisingly developed an attraction to Asuka and would frequently team up with her, despite being from different brands. Both Asuka and Nakamura's styles were a huge departure from what most people were used to seeing in WWE at the time. While they weren't necessarily hardcore, there was a grittier, more realistic feel to their matches that hadn't really been seen in WWE since the Attitude Era. In fact, I'd say that they kind of revived the Attitude Era in a sense, because just like during that time period, it was cool to be a bad guy again. Now, it might seem strange that WWE would introduce these two Japanese strong-style wrestlers at the same time, but it wasn't a coincidence. You see, 2006 was a big year for WWE as they went head-to-head with New Japan Pro, wrestling in a collaboration that has since become known as the Invasion Angle. The idea was that wrestlers from New Japan were coming to WWE to prove that they were superior to WWE as own talent. Some of these wrestlers included Shinsuke Nakamura, as well as Samoa Joe, who was actually signed by WWE at this point. Other notable invaders included Minoru Suzuki, Giant Bernard, Saxon, Huxley, and even the legendary Tatsumi. While the angle didn't last long, it exposed WWE fans to some incredibly talented Japanese wrestler and helped usher in that Japanese strong style influence that would permeate through WWE for years. Another thing that was important to this era was the addition of weapons like kendo sticks, folding chairs, and most notably steel chairs became very popular during this time and were featured heavily in matches involving strong-style wrestlers. Speaking of weapons, let us take a look at this match between Shelton Benjamin and Chavo Guerrero from May 2007. As you can see, both competitors are using kendo sticks as they slug it out outside the ring. Then we head back inside where Guerrero hits Benjamin with a low blow and a frog splash off the top rope for a near fall. Benjamin would end up winning the match after hitting his super finisher, the Payback. This match, along with the next one I'll show you, comes from WWE's WWE brand, which was the perfect place for strong style to flourish due to its hardcore nature. In fact, it was during this time that the ECW World Champion CM Punk would develop his straight-edge persona and align himself with the ultra-violent Samoa Joe. Here we see Joe going toe-to-toe with the hardcore legend Tommy Dreamer in a street fight that also involves weapons. Dreamer tries to use a steel chair on Joe, but Joe catches him and sends him crashing down to the mat. Joe then takes the chair and starts wailing away on Dreamer, just as Joe is about to hit Dreamer with the title. However, Matt Striker runs in and attacks Joe. This allows Dreamer to regain control and hit Joe with the steel chair several times before picking up the win. What I find interesting about this match is that you can clearly see the influence of strong style, yet it's still very much an ECW hardcore match. There's a blend of both styles that works surprisingly well. That about does it for the strong style influencing WWE. In reality, it was a lot bigger than what I was able to show you today. But I hope I was able to convey how this Japanese style changed the way matches were wrestled in WWE and helped change the company into what it is today. So what do you think? Did I miss anything? Let me know in the comments below. And while you're there, drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on the channel.
Okay guys, thank you for watching my videos.